Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to some Full Throttle's Cup Series racing. We are back live. Do apologize for not being last week. Moved into a new place. We didn't get to see the Darlington race, which apparently was a spectacle, Chris. But we are going to get back here. It is going to be a great race tonight at the Peach State 100. We've got the starting grid lining up here. We will get through some playoff standings here in just a moment. But to get on board here, we are going to go ahead and go through your starting grid for tonight. And Chris, picking up where he left off last week, it's going to be Joshua Gaiman in that first place position here tonight, your last week's race winner at Darlington. But looking right next to him, Chris, it's a beautiful looking 69 machine, Matthew Fitz. A great qualifying position here tonight. He's going to start himself on that outside pole position. We'll run it back here to that number 12 machine. That turn 2's terrible. Number 12 of Jimmy Barr. Okay, and we'll see him starting in that third position. And like Chris was telling me in my ear just there, I don't have a producer, I have Chris. Those yellow playoff banners, obviously, but if you are new, are for the playoff drivers only. So if you do see those yellow banners, they are for playoff drivers. I know a lot of you guys probably in here know that, but if you are new and you're wondering, there you go. They're not on probation or anything, we promise. It's not like they're ankle monitors. But we're going to get back on board here. Ken Baum, I don't know if I said that, did start fourth, and then we'll be on board here with Robbie Bice, who's starting in that fifth place position. We got Kevin Click rolling off here in sixth. We'll see in that seventh position, it'll be Lucas Nilgis. Then in eighth, it'll be that number 26 of Jaden Bingaman. And then William Hobart will be in that ninth position with Nick Cannon starting in that P10 position. Sorry, Chris was getting a little out of whack there like I do sometimes with the live timing. We'll see Chris Lynn roll off P11 here tonight with that David Smith Jr. machine going in that P12 position. 14th will be Don DeGroot. 15th will be Jeremy Zarfos. 16th will be that 62 machine of Kevin Gibney Jr. The field's getting so out of whack here. I'm just going to name them off, and if that's not their
you got Michael Zuver in 17th, Joshua Susi in 18th, Kyler McCarthy 19th, Bill Hells 20th, William Brown 21st, Stan Mayberry 22nd, Shane Weldon 23rd. You've got Brody Green 24th, Patrick Enter 25th, Chad Engel 26th, and Andrew May rounding out your field in 27th.
So glad that you can make sense of the field, Chris, when it's like that. But we're going to have to make sense of it because we are hitting the start zone. Green. It's going to be Joshua Gaiman and that Matthew Fitz machine rolling us off here tonight for the first time. We're going to see what these drivers are going to get at here, how they're going to get at. And I did say 100 laps maybe. It is 120 laps here tonight at Atlanta Speedway. Chris, we know this is going to be a very interesting race. The new Atlanta, they're going to have to see these guys run this new layout. Obviously, they've ran it before here on the platform, ran it here for close to a year on the platform. So nothing new to these guys, but it's going to be a great race. Excited to see what these guys have going for us here tonight.
Yeah, we're seeing every.
Unmute Matthew Fitz there, and it looks like we already got.
We already got a caution out. It looks like Shane Weldon.
Bill Hells.
Oh,
whoa, that's not good.
Yeah, there's a lot of cars involved in that don't need to be involved in it. We'll see if we can catch what happened. I see it looks like Stan Mayberry, Kyler McCarthy. We'll go back here and just see if we can catch what happens. As we see Bill Hell's getting slowed down there. They're already wrecking in front of
in the wall up there, so something happened.
We'll ride on board here. It looks like the 62.
Whoever that is.
Kevin Gibney. Yeah, it's Kevin Gibney Jr. Looks like he gets loose on that top lane.
He's wobbling there, so he's already kind of driving the thing up the track more than he should. It just goes around on him, Chris. He goes down into that 29 machine.
Oh, and then you see
get up into the 24. Then that's going to involve who is that? What Sparkle Unicorn driver is that?
Looks like Michael Zuver. Yeah, you see the 98 there, Shane Weldon. You see him snap up to the top of the track. You see him go down here at the bottom.
Down to the apron, but when you get on that apron where he's trying to turn
right there,
break that, it's just going to lose grip on the car. I mean, you see he still was at an angle, and then he goes up and collects that 24 machine, which you don't want to see if you're the 24.
Yeah, definitely don't want to see that if you're Kyler McCarthy.
But if you notice that 53 of Bill Hells, Chris, we did think he was involved. I don't think he was at all. He just got by cleanly, it looks like, back there.
Yeah, we see Kyler McCarthy still spinning out down here. As I see Chad Engel, Ryan Broderick, Zarfos, Kevin Gibney Jr., Zuver, Kyler McCarthy, Stan Mayberry, Shane Weldon all down pit lane right now. But we're just going to kind of watch, see what happened here. You know, coming to the green flag. I mean, this was the first lap around the track. Like you said, we'll ride on board here with Kevin Gibney, see if we can find out what happened from his point of view.
Remember, Chris, we are on that Daytona and everything. These cautions will go by pretty quick, so you have to be ready to hop back up the line. But we're watching on board here with Kevin Gibney Jr. Yeah, you just see it, the bouncing. The car got around, got loose. He was definitely out of his line just a little bit, and that's what I think got him right there. You'll see Shane Weldon Sr. right on board here with him. Watching he goes on the apron, you see him come down. You'll see he's kind of on that transition still. He's braking. The car just gets loose. He goes up into Colin McCarthy, and it's just mayhem after that, Chris, pretty much. You can't really do much about it.
Yeah, but
we'll get back on board here. We should be getting pace lights off this time by.
Yeah, as we'll go ahead and pull up the points here. Right now, this is your championship standing as we're going into the championship race. You know, like Josh said, we did miss last week's race, which we do apologize about that. But Joshua Gaiman was able to walk away with the win. Brett Strickler did get second place, and Josh Susi was in third place for that one. So we will try to have a replay up here as soon as we possibly can. But that was your winners from last week. But right now, Bill Hells, Christopher Lynn, David Smill, Jaden Bingaman, Jeremy Zarfos, Jimmy Barr, Josh Susi, Ken Baum Jr., Kevin Click, Kip Easley, Kyler McCarthy, who you saw just involved in that accident, Lucas Nilges, Matthew Fitz, Robbie Bice, William Brown, and Brody Green are all your championship contenders right now. You all see there at 2,000 points. That's because we just started the championship. So everybody starts off at an even kill, and we go from there.
Like we are going to get a blind back up here, Chris. Chad Engel, I've just heard him over the radio. He's got a drive-through penalty this time. He was one of those drivers involved in that wreck just a moment ago. But we are going to get back up on board here with your leaders as Matthew Fitz has taken the lead during that all chaos that ensued earlier. And we'll see the pace car turn left here in a moment. Chris, I got to say, pitting here has got to be insanely difficult to get down on that apron.
Nope, turn 4.
I know you enter in turn 4, but I'm saying it's still got to be crazy to get off that apron sometimes. Or no, you come into the backstretch, but we'll get back on it. Restart is going. Matthew Fitz, great restart. He's going to get himself about half a car length out in front of that Joshua Gaiman machine. Clear himself, and he's going to go down here into turn 1 and 2. And we'll see how this Matthew Fitz machine is going to hold. And we'll have to see how these two cars hold. You know, with the banking here, their runs are a lot, harder to come by sometimes with these two cars, so we'll see if these guys are going to get caught back here or how they're going to manage here. What they'll be able to do is Matthew Fitz right now will be your leader at lap number 5.
Yeah, Matthew Fitz got out to a really good jump there on that restart. You see Joshua Gaiman in that nitro machine about to catch him. Yeah, about to catch him on that back bumper.
Big run. That's going to be scary.
Yeah, I was watching during practice. I saw a lot of 3-wide racing. They were probably trying to see how they could race together. I saw a lot of drivers sitting at pit lane waiting for everybody to come out. As Andrew May currently set the fastest lap that last time by 30.60. So a good fast lap there from that 22 machine. But right now, Matthew Fitz in that good-looking 69 machine on that outside lane with Kevin Click, who has been showing a lot of speed here these last couple of races. Currently battling him on that inside lane.
Yeah, indeed, Chris. Kevin Click, one of those drivers who really been I was about to commentator curse him. I'm just going to stop talking for a second, as we'll see him get tight there off the corner. But I was going to say, Kevin Click, like you said, been showing a lot of speed here these last couple of weeks. Good to see him still carrying that momentum. We'll have to see how that turn 2's terrible 25 is doing. Right now, it's pretty much a battle trying to get past that 69 machine in the inside lane and see if he can bring that 12 of Jimmy Barr with him.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of battling on this inside lane. You know, a lot of drivers probably trying to figure. I know that I don't know how much practice they've had. I know I haven't had a lot of practice at this track. I know that it's definitely an odd track to race at when you first get into it. But once you kind of figure out the banking and everything, because we were actually doing the whoa, is Joshua Gaiman getting all the way up there against the wall? It's going to stack that outside lane up possibly for a second. But we're seeing Kevin Click getting a little loose. But I was going to say, you know, this track isn't as bumpy as the original Atlanta. that is one thing that is a positive. But I do know a lot of people complain about the car will just lose itself out from under you just because of the banking transitions coming out of the corner.
There still are some bumps up there in that outside lane that you're going to go over a little bit. You know, you can never get it perfect, especially at a racetrack with the track condition constantly changing. You know, you put wear on the track becomes bumpier. But we'll see as they go off here into 1 and 2 if that 12 of Jimmy Barr's going to be able to keep it on that bottom lane, Chris. Because right now it seems like everybody's starting to have a little bit of a wiggle issue. That 25 of Kevin Click almost just went up there and collected that 33 of Joshua Gaiman, last week's race winner, who was not able to win himself in, sadly, seeing as he was starting the round of 16 when he won his first race. But hey, it's still a valiant effort. He came in mid-season, and hey, he's put on a very good form so far.
Yeah, Matthew Fitz, also one of those drivers. He's getting a big bump there. Big bump there from Joshua Gaiman. One of those drivers that, you know, that we always say would say something about him, and then something would happen to him. So we're not gonna talk about him anymore. But doing a good job up here in that lead is Matthew Fitz. But you see behind him, you got Joshua Gaiman, and then he's got his teammates Lucas Nilges, Nick Cannon in that line behind him. Then you see Kevin Click on that inside lane, just trying to hang on. He's lost a little bit of momentum on that inside. We do see him getting a little loose, especially. I want to say that is the 12 of Jimmy Barr. We see him wiggling around back there a little bit. So that inside lane doesn't look like it's working as well as that middle to outside lane. It looks like the top lane is where you want to be right now.
Yeah, that top lane is working together a little bit better. That inside lane just seems to not be able to get linked up and comfortable like these guys on the outside lane. Matthew Fitz is going down on that inside lane here for just a moment. Get himself a gap here. This is going to bring the 33 up to his bumper big time right here before turn 1.
Yeah, see if he pushes him into the corner, try to maybe disrupt his momentum. See if he, as you see him going down to the inside, I want to say that is the 96 of Michael Zuber on the outside lane. This is going to be interesting. We're going to wreck.
Be able to get her locked down.
Yeah.
There we go.
I was going to say. I saw Bill Hells leading that pack behind him, and I was like,
Kevin Click doesn't have right front right now.
Yeah, as I was gonna say.
I think that's gonna have to be. I think that's the Nilges, Chris. We have to go back and see that.
As we'll go back and see it, we saw him trying to adjust for Michael Zuber on that top lane, but it looks like maybe adjusted a little too much. As we'll go back and ride on board here.
Oh my God.
That is the 3 there.
I love having voice chat unmuted.
As you see him coming up on, yeah, it looks like he just misjudged where he was going. Yeah, that was a big shot. Big shot there. We'll actually ride on board here with Lucas Nilges, watching from his point of view.
From Nilges' perspective, you're trying not to lose.
Oh, it looks like he actually got a little loose.
He did. He got loose. But he was trying to also turn down the track, I think. He was going to try to squeeze that gap between 96. That's the only thing I can see why he would get loose. There should be no reason for him to really get loose there.
You see everybody getting woed up behind him.
You got to hate it for, even if you can't, say that, oh, he might have caused this or he might have caused that. He definitely got loose. You see him wiggle there. But I think he might have been trying to turn down the track, and the car just did not want to do it. You know what I mean? It's not like he was intentionally, definitely not trying to wreck the 25 there at all. It's not, you don't want to put that blame on Lucas Nilges and make it seem like he's this horrible person, but he got loose. He did go down there and collect him. You got to put the blame on somebody, right? I mean, I wouldn't say it was Kevin Click's fault. So you know what? We're going to have to blame the lapper there. That's all you have to say. Man, there was a lap car there. Oh, okay.
Yeah, just one of those racing incidents. I mean, honestly, you're
the same thing, Chris.
You're up to speed. You're trying to get around everybody, and you just get a little loose on that outside lane, and it's unfortunate that Lucas Nilges, one of your playoff drivers, was involved in that. That's got to sting a little bit, but it's just one of those things where you're trying to keep up to speed, and you came down the track just a little bit, and it came out from under you. But under that replay, we actually had Jimmy Barr, Patrick Ginter, Chris Lynn, Zarfos, Susie, Ken Baum, Kyler McCarthy, Stan Mayberry, Don DeGroot, Ryan Broderick, Brody Green, and I want to say Nick Cannon down pit lane. It looks like Shane Weldon's on his way out.
Will we have anyone else collected in that wreck?
No.
I didn't really pay attention. Couldn't tell.
Does it look like Nick Cannon might have caught a little bit of it? But if anything, that would be who called it. Which, since we're on the track, we can actually go back and see just... Oh, no, pace lights are out. We'll go ahead and just go back up to the front. So it looks like Patrick Ginter, we saw him come down pit lane. Kim Baum is on his way out. Chad Engel also on his way out. But it looks like Kevin Click and Lucas Nilges were the only ones that were really involved in it. Like I said, I saw Nick Cannon kind of wiggling the wheel a little bit after he left, so not sure if he did take contact. It would be slightly. It didn't look like he took a shot, but
Where they wrecked that, Chris, it could have been a lot worse. So I gotta say, sound fine now. Check. Okay, sorry about that. I was saying, where that wreck happened, they're very lucky that not a lot of more drivers got caught up.
No, exactly.
We've already had a few drivers in the playoffs fall out here tonight, so, or maybe not fall out necessarily all the way, but taking a lot of damage is not going to help their cause. But we're going to get back to some green flag racing here, as the pace car is going to hook that left, go down pit road, and we're going to hit the restart zone. It's going to be green for that green 69. Literally green 69 if Matthew fits. The car's red, the number's green, but we'll see if he can get it off here into turn 1 and 2. Plainly, as the rest of the field looks like they did not have a great restart, Chris.
Yeah, I was going to say, it looks like everybody is kind of stacking up behind him. Doesn't look like everybody behind Joshua Gaiman and Matthew Fitz got a good jump. That is one of the best things about being that first and second place position. You get a really good jump to the field behind you, but doesn't look like the rest of the field got a good jump.
Yeah, but they should link up here, and we should get an inside lane for him in here in just a moment. As you see that 9 of William Brown going to open his nose to the inside. We'll see if that Matthew Fitz machine is going to take that off or go to his teammate, but I would assume he's going to be comfortable driving his high lane like he has been. I mean, it's worked for him so far. Why not stay there?
Yeah, but we're seeing, like you were saying, Josh, that inside lane starting to form up. Got a lot of yellow banners starting to move up to the front. We've got Jaden Bingaman, who's moved up 5 positions now in that 3rd spot. He's right behind his Nitro teammate. But you see that inside lane, William Brown, and then you got Chris Lynn, William Hobart, and co behind him starting to work their way up. But it looks like that outside lane, Josh, that's where they're wanting to go. The inside lane seems like they get down there, but they just start falling apart. Now everybody's moved up to that top lane.
And I will say, Chris, one thing I've noticed these last couple laps, we've seen drivers like that, William Brown getting a little uptight with whoever that was passing him, had to do a wiggle. This track is one of those tracks that you have to be perfect on the steering wheel. As I say that 3 wide, they're going to have to be perfect to make this work coming out of corner exit, as it looks like they are going to make it stick perfectly fine. But coming through here, we're going to be beating on some quarter panels. Fender to fender, wheel to wheel. That was the 26 of Jaden Bingham and the 13 of William Hobart. As you're seeing those playoff drivers, like you said, Chris, starting to try to work their way up to the top 10 here. Maybe start working on some positions. But right now, here at lap 20, it's been all Matthew Fitz pretty much this whole race.
Oh, big bump.
Shot to the back of the 26 of Jaden Bingham, and that's going to get him out of line. William Brown around. Oh, man. More cars wrecking right there. Who is that?
Oh, I
see
missed
the 5
click.
of Ryan Broderick. I want to say that's Kyler McCarthy, Josh Susie.
Yeah, as we'll just go ahead.
Man.
We'll just go ahead and back it up. Blockbuster styles. We see the 28 of Robbie Bice sitting there sideways.
81 of Josh Susie took a shot.
I see that happen right in front of Kyler McCarthy.
And that all came off. What I was saying, Chris, you got to be perfect with your calculations here. I was going to say it, didn't get it out all the way, but it proves my point right there. If you're not perfect with it, and the 27 of David Schmill, a big shot to the back.
I'm wondering, Josh, it looks like Joshua Gaiman actually checked up, and Jaden Bingaman had to get on the brakes, and that's what caused the 27 to do what he did.
I mean, go on board with the 33, see if he checked up, but look at that big pile up right there, man. Goodness gracious, they're turning Atlanta Motor Speedway into a junkyard right now.
Riding on board here with Joshua Gaiman. See?
I mean, he's not really lifting. I don't think that was his fault. I still got to say, I think the 27 of David Smill just way too aggressive on the push. Or maybe it was him checking up that made the
Yeah,
27
looks
come
like
in, huh? Yeah.
Jaden
I
Bingaman
think
actually checked
Jaden
up.
Bingaman just had his run going too fast here. And then last second thought, oh, I could drive it in maybe? No, not drive it in. He got bumped down there. Yeah, I don't know really where he was going to go. I mean, the only thing I can think is he was going to push. But, hey, it happens. He got out of it at least. I mean, that's the only thing you can say positive for it is Jaden Bingaman's going to get out scotch-free and he's going to pick up that second position. I really don't think that's Jaden Bingaman's fault. I really don't think it's David Smill's fault. It's just, it all lies in that experience on this track. And like I was saying earlier, you've got to be perfect on this track. And these things will happen. It's racing, Chris.
Oh, Bill Hells was involved in it.
I was going to say, if we can have accidents at 35 miles an hour on a back road, what makes you think we can at almost 200 miles an hour? So it's, especially this new Atlanta, man, it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah, like I said, I haven't really raced at this track that much, but I do know the couple of times that I did it, I was like, ooh, this is rough.
I've drove it. I haven't raced here. There's a reason I haven't raced here. D1 hater when it comes to, tracks. If I don't like the track, I'm not going to race it. I'm just going to boycott it,
As we see, Bill Hells was involved in that, took a couple of shots to that front end. Trying to see if we can get any, I don't want to go to the reverse cam, but it looks like we might have to. Just see, yeah, got a little bit of front damage on that left quarter panel. We're also going to go check on, Robbie Bice was also involved in that. Doesn't look like he has as much damage, though. As the pace lights are off, I want to say they are coming down the back stretch right now, but man, Josh Rasusi's still in pit lane, or he's actually on his way out right now, 143. So the 81 machine taking a big shot there. A lot of drivers that we don't want to see taking shots are taking shots right now. Coming out of turns 3 and 4 at lap 23. Man, it feels like we have been here for a solid minute now. Only 23 laps into it, but we have had 3 cautions as well, so. Pace car is off. We'll see if Matthew Fitz can get off to another good jump and lead the field again. Or if Jaden Bingaman can have something to say. Looks like Matthew Fitz getting off to a good jump. Nick Cannon getting on the back bumper there of the 32. Chris Lynn on that restart, but Matthew Fitz able to get out to a really good jump. Jaden Bingaman in that second position, and then you see Joshua Gaiman, his Nitro teammate, falling in behind him, but you see Nick Cannon and Chris, I say that is the 32 of Chris Lynn on that outside lane. Then you've got William Hobart and Jimmy Barr on that inside lane. It looks like everybody's kind of getting out of position as we see Matthew Fitz falling back to that 4th position. Wonder if he had a misshift or something happened, but that 69 machine lost 3 positions right there. So new leader here at lap 25, Jaden Bingaman. As Chris Lynn going to take a dive to the inside there of that 33 machine. We'll see if he can make it stick, make up some track position here on that inside lane. Does look like he's going to stick to the the inside lane. Doesn't make any track position up. Actually loses a little bit of track position. You see the 69 of Matthew Fitz taking a big drive down there to the inside lane. He says, I will take that back. Thank you very much. It doesn't look like he's going to make it stick on that inside lane, though, coming out of turn 4. He's going to not. Whoa, it's Chris Lynn's up in the wall. You know, a lot of drivers probably getting a little antsy here. We know going down into that front straightaway tri-oval, man, it's definitely a crazy. You know, you think there's a lot of room down there, but there really isn't. You can get really loose down there just trying to avoid somebody, but Matthew Fitz now got his teammate Nick Cannon right on his back bumper. So it's going to be interesting to see how these 2 teammates now start battling these Nitro guys, see if they start making some moves. Just going to kind of cycle back here, see William Hobart in that 5th position with Jimmy Barr, his teammate, right behind him. Then you see Andrew May with Chris Lynn right in front of him. So right now we've got Turn 2 Terribles in that 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th position. And then Stan Mayberry on that outside lane, leading this pack with Patrick Ginter on the inside, and then Robbie Bice, who was involved in that accident earlier, still up here in that 11th position. So still trucking. Also, William Brown, who was involved in that accident, still up here in it. So good to see these drivers still digging out here after that little bit of contact, little bit of damage. But right now, everything's kind of single filed out here up in the top. As we see Jaden Bingaman still in the lead with Joshua Gaiman right on his back bumper. Matthew Fitz still trying to wait for that opportune moment to get back up there in the lead. No, he wants to be out in clean air. He's basically been there the entire race so far. But right now, Stan Mayberry is currently on that outside lane in that 10th position. He's got that 6 machine of Patrick Ginter on his inside. They're currently battling for that 10th position. And then you see Robbie Bice on that inside lane as well, right behind his teammate. So wondering if everybody's just kind of trying to single file out here, not wanting to push the issues. You see a lot of cars getting a little squiggly on that tri-oval part.
Yeah, Chris, for sure. It's one of those things, I've got to say is, I'm surprised Robbie Bice's car is even going still. He's been in, 2 accidents now, and it looks like he doesn't got really much damage, so he must have been very lucky compared to what we thought would happen. But, hey, good on him. He's still rolling, like you said, in that 11th position, still trying to get up there and battle for that top 10. But right now, it looks like we do still have Jaden Bingaman, the Nitro driver, out in the lead after getting shot off the front bumper of that 27 of David Smillen and the big accident happening behind him. He's going to find himself up here comfortably sitting in that first one thinking, man, I hope I don't take no more shots like that. As we'll see how this night is going to continue, man. 30 laps in, 120 laps. Still a lot of things.
Still a lot of racing to go.
This is not even anywhere near the ballpark of being close to what this race could look like in finishing order. As we see Nick Cannon in that 88, Chris, a driver we know who has speed, hasn't been here for the past couple weeks. Shown up, what, last week, 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago, yeah, 2 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, something like that. Ever since Nick Cannon's been back, man, he's been showing some speed.
Yeah, as right now we saw, Matthew Fitz lose that lead to Jaden Bingaman coming into turn 3, and he hasn't really been able to make up that position. But like I said, probably just biding his time right now, not really wanting to make any moves. As Josh, as I'm saying right now, making moves. Patrick Ginter has moved all the way up here into the top 10, and he's dragging Robbie Bice behind him. So, man, this inside lane's working for these full throttle guys right now.
Yeah, Patrick Ginter has thrown the tow strap out the back window, Chris, and they're hooked up to Robbie Bice. He is pulling his teammate through the field right now. Robbie had a little bit of adversity here, just unluckiness. I mean, we know that's usually how it goes for Robbie, man. This guy is not much of a dirty racer. He usually never really does much to try to hurt anybody out there on the racetrack, but seems to always get the punishment back. So it's good to see Robbie right now trying to still hold on after that adversity he's faced here tonight. But Matthew Fitz, man, getting all out of whack there for a second. He is driving that thing up behind that 33 of Joshua Gaiman. I think Matthew Fitz wants to go back up here and try to get this lead. Or he could be trying to save some fuel here. I mean, who knows? With Joshua Susi out of the race right now, we're seeing these strategies probably going to be wide open. And I say that because Susi is our strategy manager. But, you know, who knows? He could come back from what he is down. It looks like right now he's down just a lap. So anything can happen here. And he is the first car off the lead lap. So now that I say that, Susi ain't out of this race.
He's got his teammate Kyler McCarthy with him, so he's still got somebody to draft with. He's not hanging out by himself. He's got 3 cars in that pack, so he can still just hang out. You know, with the cautions that we've been having come out, you know, he could probably get that lap back very easily and make up his time. So don't count him out just yet.
Looks like they were going for a move up there for a second. Yeah, Matthew Fitz is just trying to find some type of air to open up pass somewhere, man. He really wants to get back up here, maybe. I don't know. It looks like it. It looks like he's, you know, you see him peeking left, peeking right. That's usually the guy that's like, hey, let me go, baby. Matthew Fitz, man, I don't blame you. The guy's had, like, you know, one of those Robbie Bice-esque, you know, seasons where it seems like he's just been getting caught up in all the stuff. No matter what he does, if he's the bad guy, good guy, he doesn't have any say in it. He's neutral. I mean, he just seems to get caught up in the mess. Right now, these guys are running good, Chris. And Matthew Fitz, he's gonna no. I said it. I started talking about him. It's my fault. I'll take the blame. They're all gonna get it gathered back up, though. No, Stan Mayberry just went off the nose of 27 to David Smith Jr. we shouldn't get a caution here, correct?
Yeah.
Not. Everybody's on the apron still, so it's not going to throw the caution. Why do I got to say something, man?
Yeah, the caution's not out. That is very strange.
Well, because they're off the racing line. You know, it won't throw the caution if they're on the apron.
I'll go ahead and try to mark this so that way I can find it later on. Is Patrick
We'll go
Enter?
back and check that out.
Yeah, Patrick Enter got a little out of sorts, and that just kind of messed everything up there. Right now, they've got it. He's got it gathered back up. Robbie Weiss was able to get it back underneath himself.
Bro, if Robbie made it through that with no damage, this guy is on a mission tonight, I should say. This car is a machine.
So right now, your current leader is Jaden Bingaman, Joshua Gaiman, Nick Cannon is that 1, 2, 3. You see Matthew Fitz trying to get it under sorts. I want to say that was Shane Weldon up there on that top lane. You see, gonna go ahead and get around him. That is the 98 of Shane Weldon Sr. So Shane Weldon Sr. gonna go another lap down. Or excuse me, a lap down. So right now, Josh Masucci has got to get past him to at least get that lucky dog. Man, that was definitely crazy. No caution for that. There was a lot of cars going everywhere. But right now, Patrick Enter is in pit lane. Don DeGroot is in pit lane. And Ryan Broderick currently sitting in pit lane for 11 minutes.
Chris, this isn't good. This is the first round of the playoffs. You know how it is with these, excuse me. Sorry about that. You do know how what I was going to say is how the playoff system works, Chris, with these rounds. Pretty much reset the points. Once you get into the playoffs, everybody's kind of even. So for these guys to have some trouble here early, it's not good for people.
Not good.
Not good for people like Josh Ducey and co if they can't recover. Because that's a season of nothing but winning coming down. And that's what we call a Denny Hamlin season. When you do nothing but win, and then you get into the playoffs and just nothing can go your way. It happens, man.
I know
Not
those
saying
feels.
It's going to happen to anybody in here, but it could happen. And you don't want it to, but it's not a good start when the round of 16 starts off where you getting wrecked in the first 10 laps. So I have to see how some of these guys are going to recover some of those playoff drivers that we lost back there.
Yeah, as Robbie Bice now currently leading that pack in 7th position. You see he's got about a 2-second gap between him and Jimmy Barr. So that gap between those guys isn't too big, but 2 seconds. Whoa, is Matthew Fitz giving Joshua Gaiman a little bit of a bump down there coming out of turn 2. As we see Stan Mayberry down the back straightaway. Whoa, Stan Mayberry getting a little loose on that outside lane.
That inside lane was washing up. Oh, Matthew Fitz loose off corner exit as we come to lap 44 here.
I wonder if Joshua Gaiman had a little bit of an issue on that inside lane that allowed Matthew Fitz to get around him. But right now, Joshua Gaiman's not letting him go anywhere. He is holding on to that door panel. You see Nick Cannon giving his teammate a little bit of a bump, but doesn't look like it's going to help going here. Whoa! Man.
These guys are tight right now.
Riding on board here with Nick Cannon. We'll watch it from his point of view, see what he's seeing from these leaders.
The best livery in the field, by the way. If you can read upside down, you know what that says.
I just read it. Oh my goodness.
I'm pretty sure he's been running that livery since race 1, and I've noticed it, like when we started calling it, and everybody he was like, dude, thank you for noticing it. Like, no one's ever noticed it.
Because right now you're seeing everybody get around. I want to say that is the 96 of Michael Zuver. That is the 96 of Michael Zuver on that outside lane. See everybody getting around him. Right now, Jaden Bingaman is trying to get... Whoa, Stan Mayberry getting a little loose back there. See, Jaden Bingaman's trying to hang on to that lead. He's got that teammate right behind him, but whoa, he's up into the wall.
Bingaman's in the wall. Yeah, this is going to let them cycle by him. 3 wide there for a moment. As the 88 of Nick Cannon is going to go with that 69 of Matthew Fitz.
Yeah.
New leader again at lap number 47.
Yeah, but you notice what Joshua Gaiman did? He jumped out of line so that way he could pick up his teammate.
didn't notice that. Now that you say it, I did notice
Yeah,
it.
once Jaden Bingaman got into the wall, Josh jumped out of line, got up there in front of him, so that way he wouldn't lose the toe. Good sportsmanship there from that 33. That was awesome to see.
Yeah, and if you know about the teams, people can say, "Oh, teams matter in NASCAR, stock car, whatever you want to, whatever division of racing we're talking here. Teams matter." Yeah, but during the regular season, everybody's trying to win, so sometimes teammates don't race with each other. But here in the playoffs, Chris, if you got a driver that's in the playoffs and you're not, it's one of your main jobs. Like, yeah, you need to go out there and help help yourself try to win the race. But if you're in a position to help your teammate that's in the playoffs, it's almost like a given. You should do it. I'm not saying you need to. I'm not even saying you should at all. But it's kind of the thing you should do for the playoff driver, right? So it's like the 33, like you said, good sportsmanship, just good awareness. Not a lot of drivers would have done that for their teammate right there. And for him to understand, okay, I need to get out of line, even if it was communicated to him in Discord, just to be able to listen to that call. Some drivers wouldn't even do that. So, got to say, like you said, the 33 of Joshua Gaiman is not only showing the word sportsmanship there, but I think he's showing a lot of knowledge and experience.
Yeah, but Josh, also look at what's coming up behind him. Look at who is not that far behind this front pack. They are starting to catch this front pack up here. We're going to have a battle here, I would say, in about 3 laps for this lead with these this pack of cars that's catching them.
And with these 2 cautions, Chris, it is going to extend our green flag stop. Them driving around the lap driving around the track so many times with no power, pretty much saving complete fuel the whole time. It is going to extend our green flag stops here. We may see them come here within the next 20. I just don't know when they are going to come down.
Yeah, but right now I just want to point out, though, Matthew Fitz, Joshua Gaiman, Jaden Bingaman, and William Hobart all have not come down pit lane. So they are 4 drivers right now currently sitting in that top 5 that has not come down pit lane. I want to say Jimmy Bard did come down pit lane, but he was only in there for 4 seconds. So that's a splash and go if I've ever seen one. And then Robbie Bice came down.
There's a lot more banking on this track now, Chris. Mm-hmm. The tire degradation is a little less exaggerated as it used to be. Everybody knows old Atlanta aged tires up. And when they taken the wheels off it, they could have. So, with the repave and the rebanking, it is a little bit less hard on that tire deg. I mean, you're not having to lift as much and really drive the car into the corner like it's, a mile and a half or something. So now you're just basically on a mile and a half super speedway.
Yeah, but look at this, Josh. Now everybody has caught each other. We have now got the top 5 with the back 5. So now the top 10 have currently collected themselves in this. It's like I said, about what, 3 laps? It's lap 53. I said it at lap 50. They called them, so we're about to have a battle. You see the 28 there of Robbie Bice. Looks like he's going to try to take that inside lane. I want to say that is the 9 of William Brown. Yes, it is the 9 of William Brown on his outside lane. The 12 there of Jimmy Barr on that inside lane. So this is where it's going to start getting interesting now. So I want to say that is the 13 there. I might have said that wrong. Yeah, the 13 William Hobart currently leading that inside lane.
Yeah, this is going to get possibly sketchy here.
This is going to get crazy. You see Bill Hells, if that's me, that's what I'm doing. He is kind of just hanging back a little bit. He's not all over the back bumper of Robbie. He's just trying to distance himself a little bit so that way he doesn't get caught up in anything. Maybe have a little bit of time to react.
When you distance yourself like that, sometimes you get bigger runs than you expect. So
yeah, you see the 9.
You got to play it smart, because you got to. And like you said, that distance is going to help him be able to react if we do have an accident. Like how tight they are getting right now, we might see one, but we're not going to. They're going to collect it off turn 4.
Oh.
Man, racing like this in Atlanta, you're pretty much just wrecking the car and racing while wrecking, it feels like. These guys are all over the place.
Yeah, as I'm just kind of watching what's going on right now, you see William Hobart in that 13 machine. He's on that inside lane. Looks like he was about to poke his nose out there into the lead, but just lost all that momentum. Looks like Matthew Fitz is just blocking both lanes at this point. That's kind of what it looks like he's doing. It looks like he's cutting off the momentum to that inside lane and then going back up with his teammate on those straightaways. You see him cut down to the inside, and then he's going to work his way back up to the top. Connect back up with Nick Cannon. I wonder if he's going to do it when he comes down into turn 4. As we see Nick Cannon riding really high on the lane. Yep, there he goes down to the bottom lane. Then he's going to work himself back up into that top lane. It's like I said, I wonder if he's cutting off that momentum. I haven't driven here, enough to actually understand how these cars work in pack racing like this. So I'm wondering if maybe he's getting a little bit of help on that inside lane by, drifting down in front of him and then working his way back up in front of his teammate.
I thought the 13 of William Hobart right there was going to go up into the door of the 88. It looked like they were getting really tight there off the corner exit. But, yeah, I mean, Chris, that's pretty much what he's doing. He's going down there, killing the momentum, and then he's able to get back up in front. He's making sure that 13 doesn't get some big run on the inside. And if he does, he's going to take Matthew Fitz with him. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things, yeah, it's just pretty much what he's doing. He's going down, cutting off that lane for a moment, letting them know, like, hey, you might be here, but I'm there as well. So you got to be careful playing that game sometimes. If this inside lane can get stacked up and time it right, they can still make a move at Matthew Fitz. But they're just not. Oh my goodness. The 13 right there, Joshua Gaiman, were just literally touching door to door. It's so crazy coming to the tri-oval. Just too wide. Just too wide. I don't even want to know. 3 wide, 4 wide.
That's probably one of the craziest parts in the track to try to pass, being too wide. I was trying to say it earlier. A lot of cars were getting a little sideways coming through there. You see them, getting a little wishy-washy. It's kind of crazy going through that tri-oval too wide. It looks a lot wider than you see there. Oh, it's got 5 lanes in it. When you're racing, it's only 2 lanes. I promise you.
Well, the angle you run it at, it's not like you're driving straight through those 5 lanes. You're not only when you come off the corner and you get on that straight banking, the momentum naturally takes you to that outside wall. Coming through that tri-oval is this 13 and 33, man, they've been banging the last 2 laps door to door.
And it's something you don't want to see when you're behind them.
Yeah, but if you're Robbie Bice, you want to see the pole sitter sitting right in front of you after you've had the night you've had. That's going to give you a better run possibly. Like I was saying, Chris, as it comes off, you see that all the momentum goes through the wall. So it's one of those things. It might be wide in theory, but in practice and use, it's really not. So
no, it's not.
It's not. You don't get to use that wideness of the track. The way the momentum carries you, the way you're turning into the corner, you'll see. I mean, obviously, you know if you've raced at any type of tri-oval track, even on a PlayStation 2 video game, tri-ovals are not fun. So it's just
wondering if
difficult.
Joshua Gaiman and Jaden Bingaman are starting to fall off. Wondering if this tire degradation is starting to play in. We're 63 laps into this race, so we're halfway right now. Wondering if this tire wear is starting to come into play for a couple of these drivers up front. As I see smoke down the back straightaway, don't see any markers of anybody wrecking. I see Stan Mayberry coming down pit lane.
In the wall right there. Gaiman just got into the wall a little bit.
Yeah, see him just getting into the wall ever so slightly up there on that outside lane. It's going to allow Robbie Bice to get past him.
Whoa, did Matthew Fitz take a bad bump?
Yeah, I'm wondering if he did. See him shoot all the way down to the bottom of the track. Whoa, Joshua Gaiman's into the wall. Ooh.
Something has happened with that gaming machine, Chris. I'm assuming his tires have just fallen off or something.
Yeah, something
very uncharacteristic from what we've seen him driving these past couple weeks.
Yeah, just not what you would normally see. Especially this late in the race, we've seen him doing really good, and then like I said, maybe just tire wear is just starting to come into play. He is one of those drivers that did not come down pit lane, or has not come down pit lane at all.
Look at Andrew May right there, Chris, that 22 machine. He's moved himself up from that 27th position all the way up into 7th here.
Robbie Bice has moved himself up into that 3rd position. Currently battling with William Hobart on that outside lane. Matthew Fitz currently still holding on to that lead. Not, whoa, as I say that,
My goodness, man.
everybody's gonna have to stack up. We're gonna have to reset here. Man, that could have just really spelled disaster. Good save there from Matthew Fitz. Very good save.
You got to think when seeing everybody getting loose here, these tires have got to be falling off, right? I mean, there's no way they're going to go all 120, are they? They got to pit for fuel at least.
To the inside, Robbie Weiss.
We about to get a new leader here in lap 68.
So right now, it looks like Nick Cannon did lead that lap on the outside lane. We'll see if Robbie can have anything to say for it. I'm not liking what I saw, though, when Nick Cannon gave that little bit of a bump there.
Whoa, Nick Cannon almost just wrecked on corner.
Yeah, I saw that.
So snappy.
And by that, I was meaning I didn't like the bump that he gave, you know, and you saw Matthew Fitz get sideways, come all the way down to the bottom of the lane. That means that right rear is probably eat up right now, and Matthew Fitz is having to really manhandle this car.
This outside lane is just able to gather up just ever so slightly more speed. And outside, I was about to say, Chris, I saw it there, my stomach dropped. I just didn't react like you did. This outside lane's able to keep that speed going. Obviously, the outside lane is usually able to keep the speed going a lot more than that inside lane. You use a lot more of the track, but you also don't turn in as much. You're able to keep a little bit straighter to steering wheel, gas in there. It's one of those things that inside lane is fast, but right now with this tire degradation, it's working to keep him up there. But Robbie's not able to make a big move off of it unless he had some just extraordinary help. And there we go. First green flag pit stop will go to Matthew Fitz. Unless Nick Cannon decides to come down pit road as well. Robbie is going to come down as well, Chris. Those are the only two drivers. Matthew with a really good pit stop. Oh, he sped. Matthew sped. 100%. He was locking them up all the way to where the second white line is after the commitment cone. Pretty sure Matthew Fitz just possibly throwing his race away with that speeding penalty.
Yeah, we'll see if he comes out and says anything. You can hear it, I can't. So if you do hear him say anything over the radio, then we will know what happened. But
yeah, he definitely looked like he was locking them up past the commitment line. I don't know. We'll have to see. He never said anything over the radio or anything like that.
Chris Lynn, Jimmy Barr, Joshua Gaiman, Ken Baum Jr., and Jeremy Zarfos all down pit lane right now.
I'm pretty sure he just said over the radio how I did not get a penalty for that. I have no idea.
Well, then there you go. You heard it from the man himself.
I think that's what he said. I didn't hear the first part because I could hear you in my headset. So
Whoa!
Whoa! William Brown around. If he gets out on the track going this slow, we're going to get a caution. Caution's out. No, it's not. Oh, he's got something broke in the car.
William Hobart, Jaden Bingaman down pit lane.
Guys, just get around him. Looks like everybody is going to get around. Did it look like there was something broke in his steering when he originally started driving off?
It did look like something was broke. So Nick Cannon down pit lane.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume, Chris, he didn't get the penalty. He never came back down pit road, so. How Matthew Fitz didn't just get penalized right there is insane to me. Yeah, Andrew May either missed pit road.
He missed pit road. He missed pit road. Oh!
Oh, my goodness.
Keep her underneath you. So David Smill Jr. going to assume the lead here. Nick Cannon currently on his way out from pit lane. William Brown just now hit his pit stall. You see maybe David Smill getting ready to come down. I see it looks like no. It's a lot of smoke down here in this front lane. You see Andrew May able to get down pit lane.
Made it this time.
Yeah, I know coming out of turn 4 is definitely really tricky. You know, like I was did they not come down in real life down the back straightaway coming into turn 4 or 3, excuse me?
You know, I want to say they used to. Yeah, honestly, I don't remember them. I'm not gonna lie. I'm so out of the loop when it comes to iRacing's, or not iRacing, NASCAR's track updates. When it comes to, I want to say that when the track first was repaved, yeah, you pitted off the backstretch. So I don't think they're making them pit off the backstretch here, though. So I mean, I know they're not. They're letting them pit from turn 4 exit. But I'm sure you will see people still shoot it down the backstretch, Chris. It's catchy trying to come down pit road here at Atlanta.
Yeah, so right now, David Smil Jr. is currently your leader with Kyler McCarthy, Brody Green, and Chad Engel all right behind him. So we've got 3 playoff drivers right here in the 1, 2, 3. David Smil, Kyler McCarthy, and Brody Green, and then a Nitro teammate of Chad Engel, the caboose of this train right now. So wondering when they're going to come down pit lane, because the next person in line is Jeremy Zarfos, and then you see Ken Baum right behind him, who is currently 23 seconds behind him. So that is going to be when they come down pit lane. When they come down pit lane is going to be interesting, is what I was trying to say. Or maybe they're trying to do a strategy. Maybe they know they have enough fuel, and they're just going to ride out here in the lead with a 23-second gap between everybody behind them. Because right now, there's only 9 drivers on the lead lap. And Robbie Bice is currently leading that train of lap drivers.
These guys that are leading up here in the front, Smil and all them, they haven't pitted since lap 21. So
21.
They're gonna have to still pit. There's no way, right?
And Chad Engel came down lap 17. I don't know. I've thought that Susie was going to come down pit lane 500 times before, and he never did. So I don't know.
Yeah, but Martinsville, when he did that time, was a little bit different than what we're talking about here. I mean, pretty much Martinsville, right? You're turning left and going fast, so in most people's head, that's NASCAR for you.
Yeah, but
go left, turn fast.
Look at Robbie Bison Co, Josh. They are on a tear with those newer tires.
Man, those new tires they're nice, let me tell you.
Yeah, they're going to be on this outside lane, so they're going to open up a lot of space here.
And having new tires is like a nice little joy, Chris. It's like you don't really get much out of them besides you just fly past everybody, and it's just so, oh my goodness. Robbie Bice said, "You don't want to go here, I'll go there, baby."
That was sketchy from that 28, but hey, he made it work.
Everybody pits. Robbie is gonna technically is your leader right now if everybody was to come down pit road.
Yeah, if everybody in front of him was to come down pit lane. But you've got Jeremy Zarfos, Ken Baum, Nick Cannon, the guys that he's driving past right now. Woo! So I want to say, Robbie Bice and William Hobart, they are trying their best to get past everybody. I see that 13 machine all over the back bumper of that 28. Oh, as I'm speaking, Josh, Chad Engel, David Smil Jr., Colin McCarthy, and Brody Green all down pit lane. So Jeremy Zarfos will assume the lead.
Zarfos is pitted and all them. Okay, my bad. I didn't realize that Zarfos. I thought the top 9 hadn't pitted. My bad.
Yeah, Josh Susie is the only one that has not come down pit lane. He is currently on lap 21, or he came down pit lane at lap 21.
I was thinking Robbie Bice was going to assume the lead. Didn't realize these guys even pitted. So, nope, it will be Jeremy Zarfos. Do apologize about that. Just a little bit of a, I would say, commentator issue, but it's more or less just the commentator himself just being a ding-dong and not paying attention to how to read live timing. But hey, still, either way, you got to say for Jeremy Zarfos to be out here in the lead. I'm pretty sure he's enjoying that right now with Ken Baum Jr. behind him. But this is the pack that will catch them if they stay together.
As I'm seeing in the YouTube chat, we've got Rylan in the chat. Good to have you, buddy.
Hello, Rylan. It's my best friend.
Because right now we're riding on board with Jeremy Zarfos. You see Ken Baum, who's in that second position right behind him. So turn two terribles drivers are currently in the lead. Josh Susie is currently sitting in that 3rd spot. And then right behind him is Robbie Bice. But Josh Susie has not come down pit lane. Nick Cannon, it says Nick Cannon has went around.
He did? Oh, yeah, he did.
We'll see if we can just kind of see what happened here. Oh, it looks like Josh Susi maybe got into the back corner of him. Coming out of turn 2. Yeah, you see him wash all the way up there to the top of the lane. Yeah, it looks like they just ran out of room there. Andrew May, just unfortunate. So Nick Cannon down pit lane. Josh Susi also down pit lane. So unfortunate there for Nick Cannon, who's really charging through the field with a fast race car.
And Chris, one thing I got to say is if you're going to start trying to make your moves here, you're going to have to start making your moves soon. I would assume we're not pitting again, and we are getting close.
Unless we have a caution.
Yeah, unless we have a caution, you are correct. But I got to say, this is where you got to start working. Because, 40 laps is going to go by quick here.
Yeah.
You might as well start trying to get them belts tight, and start trying to figure out how you're going to get your way up to that lead. Because Robbie Bison them got about 10 seconds they got to tick off before they get up there to Jeremy Zarfos and Ken Baum.
Yeah, right now Robbie Bice came down the pit lane at lap 70. William Hobart came down at 72. Bill Hells also came down at 70. We saw him and Robbie pit together. So right now we've got 2 full throttle drivers up in the top 5. And then you've got William Hobart, who has turned 2 terrible, and then Ken Baum and Jeremy Zarfos, who are currently in that 1st and 2nd position, also turned 2 terrible. So turn 2 terribles up in the lead with full throttle knocking on the door. And you got Jaden Bingaman and Joshua Gaiman, who's trying to make up as much time as they can. And then you see Matthew Fitz also telling behind them. And they're catching the Robbie Bison Co. train right now. So we could see a battle for this 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th position here very soon.
Yeah, but these guys really aren't catching the leaders like I thought they were, being such a big pack.
I saw Matthew Fitz on that inside of Joshua Gaiman. Is going to see if maybe he was trying to make a move. Doesn't look like he's going to make any moves down the turns 1 and 2. Whoa, as you see, looks like the 32 of Chris Lynn, he had to get out of it down the back straightaway. I saw him spitting fire out the side of it as Matthew Fitz on that outside lane, Josh, looks like he has got a mad tear right now.
Yeah, Matthew Fitz, I know he wants to get up there. He wants to get back to the lead of this race. He knows that he can win this race. He has the car to do it. He's led all night, but it could be just a little bit of RNG to spoil it, but you just got to hope to get up there and make this 10-second gap up. Because like I said, they still are not making this gap up. And these guys, they've pitted, right?
Yeah, everybody's come down pit lane.
These guys just had such a great pit stop that... Actually, they only pitted for 13 seconds compared to everybody else's 15. They take 2 tires only?
Not sure.
It says their pit time is 13:13, where everybody else is like 15:14. I mean, unless they just had absolutely mega drive in, drive out, everything's perfect kind of thing, you know?
Matthew Fitz getting a little loose. He's able to make up a couple of positions. He's got that 32 of Chris Lynn right in front of him, but that bump there from that 12 machine.
Oh, my. Matthew Fitz is letting him know, you're getting out of my way.
You're in my way is basically what Matthew Fitz is saying right now.
I've never seen that. That's the most aggressive I've ever seen Matthew Fitz. Without him, just trying not to be aggressive.
Yeah, very big aggressive move there for Matthew Fitz. He got that 12 machine, Jimmy Barr, up and out of the way. Right now, we're currently still we got Jeremy Zarfos out in the lead with Ken Baum right behind him. So we're coming down on the 20 to go here. We've got 17 laps to go. This is going to get interesting to see how everybody starts playing it out. It's like, as we see, Matthew Fitz has now moved himself up behind Bill Hells. So I'm wondering how long it's going to take him to step out and try to make a pass here on that 53 machine, or if he's just going to kind of ride in line and bide his time. As I say that, Making a pass around that 53 is Matthew Fitz.
And they are slowly starting to tick off now to Jeremy Zarfos and Ken Baum. They're now 8.9 instead of the 10.06 they were a lap and a half ago, Chris.
Yeah, so I wonder if Zarfos and Baum are actually slowing down a little bit, trying to save a little bit of tires and fuel with 26 laps to go. As we're going to go back on here with Matthew Fitz. Whoa! William Hobart beating and banging.
What is Hobart doing? What's he doing there?
Just. Yeah, that is definitely a. Wonder if maybe just got a little loose down there on that inside, but you see Matthew all over the back bumper of that 13 machine. He's not happy.
I mean, I can understand, like, being annoyed with, getting your bumper beat off, but you got to realize you got playoff drivers trying to go. They ain't trying to hold up. I mean, I get it. They're 9 seconds back still, but they're going to have to play nice, man, if they want to get this pack. It's not gonna. They're not gonna win. They're not gonna put themselves in a chance to win this race if they're just gonna be doing this. And Matthew Fitz is gonna pay the price for it.
Yeah, I saw him get down there below the line on the tri-oval. So, oh, my phone just fell off my lap. Do apologize if anybody heard that, but that's gonna separate that pack. Robbie Bice, William Hobart gonna be pulling away from that pack. As I say that, the 12 of Jimmy Barr starting to slowly reel him back in. So I'm wondering if Matthew Fitz having a little bit of issue. Like I said, I saw him get below that red line coming through the tri-oval, and then he did hit the 13 of William Hobart. And I want to say, they were door banging for about 4 laps. There's a ride up here on board with your leader, Jeremy Zarfos, who is currently still 8.5 seconds up from Robbie Bice. So they are just kind of cruising out here in the lead. Haven't really made up or lost any position or any time on the track. But right now, this train behind them is definitely wanting to make some noise. See Jaden Bingaman getting hung out there on that outside lane. You see the 33 of Joshua Gaiman also on the outside lane. As Robbie Bice is just trying to hold on to that 3rd position. You see that 13 of William Hobart behind him. Joshua Gaiman is currently the driver. You see 12 of Jimmy Barr and then the 32 of Chris Lynn. They are not on the lead lap. The 33 is actually the next position on track. And then you've got Matthew Fitz right behind him. That outside lane looks like it's starting to pick up a little bit of momentum now. It's 20 laps to go here. Jeremy Zarfos, Ken Baum. Now the time is starting to slowly dwindle away. They now got the gap down to about 7.5 seconds. Whoa! Robbie Bison, the 33 of Joshua Gaiman making a little bit of contact. Riding on board the Ryland Cam here with Robbie Bice. See if we can see any contact, how close they get. See there, that right there, just a little bit of a bang. Whoa, big bang there. Robbie going to go down to the inside of the tri-oval.
I'm going to tell you, this middle pack is not happy with each other right now.
Yeah, Matthew Fitz getting into the wall a little bit. Right now, this is currently your closest battle for position. Jeremy Zarfos, Ken Baum still out about 8 seconds. Now this battling that's going on up here in this pack, this is going to slow them up a little bit. You see the 33 of Joshua Gaiman and Matthew Fitz were able to get around Robbie Bice. Now that is also the 26 of Jaden Bingaman, who is currently riding on that outside lane, to that 28 of Robbie Bice. So 2 positions back for Robbie Bice, but 3 positions as I'm speaking. So he's going to follow back into that 6th position is Robbie Bice. But with 17 laps to go, Ken Baum and Jeremy Zarfos are still out in the lead. Got about still a 7.5-second gap between him and that 33 of Joshua Gaiman. Then you see Matthew Fitz, who's trying to make up as much time as he can. But like Josh said just a second ago, it looks like this middle pack right here of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, they are not happy with each other. We saw a bunch of door banging going on. As I see Wyvern in the chat, he says, I'm new actually. I met Robbie during a bowling league. That is awesome. This is where we met Robbie. So actually, you know, calling races and doing races. So good to have you in the YouTube chat, man. As right now, that gap between Ken Baum and Joshua Gaiman is now under 7 seconds. So Ken Baum and co are starting to lose a little bit of time to this pack behind them. Wondering if Matthew Fitz is going to have anything to say to Joshua Gaiman, if he's going to be able to get around him, ride that outside lane. As I see that 33 is still riding the outside lane, so that's where I'm going to assume everybody's going to stay. Nobody's going to really make any moves to that inside because we see the inside lanes just not working out tonight. But with 14 laps to go, we see the 88 of Nick Cannon starting to slowly pull up to the back bumper of that 2 machine. And I want to say that is the 9 of William Brown, who is also right behind him, who's currently the first driver off of the lead lap. And then right behind him is, I want to say that is the 3 of Lucas Nilges. Whoa, Ken Baum getting a little loose on that trioval exit. We see Nick Cannon on the inside lane. They're probably just going to say, all right, guys, y'all can go ahead and go. We're not even going to fight y'all. Just go ahead and get around us. And that's what you see going on right there. Team Sparkle Unicorn guys are just trying to make up as much time as they can right now. But as I say that did shorten the gap to Ken Baum and Jeremy Zarfos. Now Joshua Gaiman under 5.5 seconds. So this is slowly starting to tick off. You know, this 33, Matthew Fitz, Jaden Bingaman, they could have something to say by the end of this race.
They could. They're going to have to do it now, Chris. Now. They are going to have to work together and go, but I just don't know if... I don't want to say they don't have it. But the way they're moving right now and the time they're not ticking off, I really don't. And look at that. The 28 and the 2, or the 29 and the 2 just caught another pack.
No,
so.
While you were away, they actually passed them.
Or do they go back behind
yeah.
now?
Yeah, they got their lap back.
I wasn't away. I just was muted.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was just muted and I didn't know it. I started talking over you there a second ago and was like, okay, maybe I am muted. First, I thought you just didn't hear me. Then the second time, I realized, okay, I'm talking over you. I'm muted. So I do apologize about that, but... Man, yeah, they're still, Chris, they're losing time now.
Yeah, they're losing time now.
With that gap, over that pack that just passed them, they're able to catch back up to them and gain the speed.
So I want to say that is the 96 of Michael Zuver. It's going another lap down.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see a wreck here before this thing's all said and
done. Saw Robbie getting on the door panel there of Zuver.
Yeah, I think Robbie's car is starting to tighten it up on corner exit. It seemed like earlier he was getting tight, rolling up just a little bit, and there he had a problem. We'll just have to see what's going on here with this 28 machine, but right now, Chris, that gap is still dropping. So I think Jeremy Zarfos and Ken Baum Jr. have done a great job here tonight.
Yeah, they've
set up for possibly a 1-2.
They've got these Team Sparkle Unicorn guys around them. So now they've got somebody to draft with. They're not the pullers anymore. They're being pulled.
Yeah, but these guys are both turned too terrible. Does he let Zarfos win, or is the 2 of Lucas, or not Lucas, no, excuse me, Ken Baum Jr. going to be led around here?
I don't know. That's going to be something that we see here.
Or are they just going to let them duke it out?
Something we'll have to see what happens. But we're going to go back here with Joshua Gaiman and Matthew Fitz for that battle for that 3rd, 4th position. As we see Matthew Fitz still trying to hang on to that 33 machine. Jaden Bingerman also trying to hang on to that 69 machine. We saw Jaden Bingaman was involved in a couple of accidents earlier on, so it's good to see that 26 machine, who also took a big shot there from the 27 of David Smith Jr. And get involved in an accident. So good to see him still up here plugging away. It's like you were saying, Josh, that gap is just slowly getting bigger and bigger. They had dropped down to about 5.5 seconds once that pack of unicorn guys got past them. They started slowing up, lost about 2 seconds, they had lost 2 seconds to this pack, and then once they got around them, they were able to just kind of pull away from them now, about 6.5 seconds. So they've made up a whole second, but with 6 laps to go, I'm wondering how this is going to go.
Either somebody's going to Clint Boyer caution here, or we're going to get an actual
caution.
These guys are racing too hard.
Yeah, look at this pack that's forming up back here.
Especially this second pack back here, man. These guys have not been nice to each other all night. You've seen Hobart get frustrated with Matthew Fitz. They were going at it on the radio for a second. And then, you had Robbie and just everybody really just kind of going at it. It seemed like a big old kerfuffle back there. Everybody's getting frustrated that they don't feel like the pack's going fast enough. Not trying to say anyone here is at fault at all. You just don't want to put the blame on literally anybody, because you can't. When you're packed racing like this, man, it brings out the worst in you. So, and look at that, Chris. Jeremy Zarfos going to go to the outside. Ken Baum Jr. going to open it to the inside. We'll see if that 2 machine now able to make the pass. But it looks like he is just going to let him pass. So there we go. Are we seeing the Ferrari 2017 orders? And I say 2007, I don't know why Kimmy won the championship that year, but if you know Ferrari memes, team orders. As we'll get back through here, and we'll go to lap 117, Chris, or we should say 117 and a half now as we're down the back straightaway. I gotta say, I think it's going to be Ken Baum Jr., Jeremy Zarfos, unless we go to one more caution here, which can happen. But there is still a battle for third place going on here, Chris, a final podium position. We got a lot of playoff banners right there in this top 5.
Mm-hmm. As we see Jaden Bingaman starting to slowly fall back towards the back, maybe had a little bit of an issue. The 26 machine just losing the time that he had made up. But like you were saying, Josh, with 3 laps to go here, Matthew Fitz, if he's going to make a move, it's going to be now. As you see, 28, looks like he was trying to make a move to the inside.
Thought they were about to wreck there for a second, man.
Yeah, that's why I got kind of quiet. I was watching what was going on as we said it. That's all coming out of the corner. Everybody just getting kind of mixed up as you see Robbie Bice go around off of the front end of Matthew Fitz. We'll see if we can see what happens. Looks like maybe Robbie Bice might have just drifted up just a little bit.
12 might have given him a big shot. I don't know. Did he touch him? Maybe the 12 didn't touch him. No, 12 didn't touch him. Well, he did, though. That one came through.
Whoa. I want to say William Hobart got a little loose.
Did Robbie just drive up over the nose of Matthew Fitz?
It's what it looks like. Looks like Robbie just got maybe thought he was a little maybe thought he was clear or something. Moved up trying to block that momentum, and you saw him just go around off the front end. So this is going to be interesting.
That just turned everything upside down.
Yeah, so Jaden Bingham and Bill Hells, David Smill, Kyler McCarthy, Chad Engel, Brody Green. A lot of yellow banners coming down pit lane.
And Robbie Bice and Matthew Fitz said, screw it, we're going to stay out. William Hobart as well. The one that was making that contact with Robbie Bice earlier. I was thinking, man, you're running so good, you can't get up there and be banging doors like that. Like, this is your shot to win the race. You got a playoff driver next to you. You guys are beefing. So we might see some more beef here, Chris. I mean, it could be what's for dinner. Who knows? I mean, and you know how it is at Wendy's. It's fresh, never frozen. Well, trust me, the beef is fresh here right now in Atlanta, and it's only getting hotter. We might see some craziness turn out here at Hot Atlanta. They don't call it that for a reason. It definitely gets hot here, so gonna have to see if these guys are going to get at it. And what's going to happen with these guys that stayed out here? Hobart, Robbie Bice, and Matthew Fitz. I mean, Matthew Fitz just looks like he's driving a front load now. You got front loader, you got the 28 who can't really tell. It looks like he took some front right fender damage. Our camera guy, producer, director, and co-broadcaster Chris did step away, so sorry I can't get a different camera angle at the moment. He will be back in just a moment. We'll try to check on that Robbie Bice damage, but doesn't. I don't know if it's just me, but it doesn't really look like Robbie took much of any damage. Unless that right side is just absolutely cooked and we can't tell. But I want to say right now, it looks like Robbie's car might be fairly okay. Chris, can we get a right side angle of Robbie Bice's car? Any fender damage? Hey, that's the view right there. It doesn't look like he's got damage, does it? How?
No, it doesn't. Man, this is going to be interesting. Yeah, sorry about that, Josh. I heard the hot dog person knocking on the door, and I haven't eaten all day, so I had to go get a hot dog.
Yeah, it'd be the perfect time. Because we might be, if there was red flags, we might be getting one here in a moment.
As the pace lights are out, we've got 3 laps to go. Green, green, green. William Hobart out to the lead. See if Matthew Fitz and Robbie Bice have anything to say. See the 2 of Ken Baum on that inside lane.
Oh. Robbie's already getting wrecked by Gaiman down the backstretch. That's going to bring out another caution. Holy crap, dude. How did that not get worse?
Ooh, big shot there to the 28. Yeah, you can tell that he's not happy.
So go back on board here, Chris. Let's see what happened here.
Yeah, gonna have to rewind it.
I did see him in the 33 of Joshua Gaiman together, it looked like. Is that who that is? Yeah, that's who that is. As they come off the corner here.
Looks like
he's got in the back of Robbie, got him a little loose, and then Robbie just trying to re-clear himself back over the nose. He's going up there to try to side draft and just spun himself. Not sure. We'll have to go back on board here. See, there's the shove. He gets Robbie a little bit out of line. Yeah, I can see that happening there. That's just one of the. If you've raced here or raced at any type of super speedway track or anything like that, you know that is just one of your most typical wrecks right there. It's just. And you hate to see everybody's nights end like this. I mean, it seems like we've got a lot of frustration in the drivers, and as good of a race they've had so far. Whoa, who just went off into the? Oh, that was Lucas Nugi's turn. I thought Lucas Nugi's just spun out or something while driving. I was like, goodness gracious, did he just wreck? Thought he had a Mark Martin, steering box issue. As Chris, we are at green, white, checkered attempt number 2 of 3. I didn't think we were going to get 2 of them, but here we are, and Matthew Fitz is going to lose positions after that restart. So I think Matthew Fitz' Hail Mary chance is a little bit over here, but Chris, look who's back up into 3rd place. Jaden Bingaman, who was just a couple moments ago. Wasn't he running back in like 10th, 11th?
Yeah, losing a lot of positions. As right now, Kyler McCarthy, Bill Hells, Shane Weldon all down pit lane. Bill Hells down pit lane for 47 seconds. Wonder if he had a didn't get any markers from Bill. On his way out now, though, is that 53 machine. So, this has been very interesting.
Yeah, it's one of those races that it's almost like a Daytona. It's not over until it's quite literally the checkered flag. Obviously, I say that, but obviously it's not over until the checkered flag drops. But you know what I mean. This race, it's not won in the first 20. It's not won in the first 50. It's not won in the first 70. I mean, yes, you can set yourself up for better success like Jeremy Zarfos and Ken Baum Jr. did with their excellent pit stop strategy. But as you see, Chris, it doesn't matter how good you are on pit road, how great you were in turn 3 or turn 4, or how great the car hit off the corner all night. As long as you weren't there at the checkered flag drops in that position to win it, it's pretty much one of those things. Not saying that you're not doing it all for nothing, but you know what I'm getting at, Chris. It's one of those things I'm using. What was all that battling for? What was all that beating and banging that I did for? I mean, you get what I'm saying here. You got to have the car at the end of the race if you want to win in Atlanta, and you got to be in the right place, right time. And so far, Ken Baum Jr. and Jeremy Zarfos have done exactly that. They've got to execute now, Chris. They just have to execute. And, you know, with someone like Jaden Bingaman behind him, who is a playoff driver as well, he's going to need to execute as well. Some of these drivers who we are talking about here have put themselves into a position that they were not in just 10 laps ago, Chris. So this is going to be, like you said, very, very interesting. And look who's right back behind Jaden Bingaman, David Smill Jr. He's who got into that 26 of Jaden Bingaman, who spiraled one of our big wrecks early in the race. And we'll have to see how these guys are going to get back to it, Chris. Gloves are coming off here for attempt number 2. And if things are going to go the way they seem, we might be seeing attempt number 3. As we will hit the restart zone, and from that beautiful, beautiful full throttle helicopter that we're definitely paying for out of the company credit card. That's not the helicopter, that's the booth. Never mind. That's the TV tower. We're paying for that too. Whatever. I thought it was from a helicopter from that front stretch. But, hey, we're going to get off down here into turns 1 and 2, Chris. This is green, white, checkered attempt number 2, and there's the wreck already.
A lot of drivers going to get involved in this. Actually, I say that. Only 3 drivers got involved in it.
Pretty sure Matthew Fitz was apologizing before the 26 even got around, dude.
I just hear, I'm sorry.
He is going, I'm sorry. I tried checking up.
As you see there, it looks like
David Smill just giving him a big shot.
Yeah, it looks like also the 26 got up into the 13 there, and then boom.
I mean, I'm not going to lie, the 69 really can't do much there.
Not as many cars involved in it as I thought was going to be.
As, yeah, this will be our final attempt, Chris. So even if we get a caution to pop, which I don't think we will, I don't think on final attempts it pops a caution, since these aren't real-life drivers we're risking out there, you know, with racing back to the yellow. We'll have to see what they do here, though, and if we even see a finish under checkered flag conditions, it might be, or green flag conditions, I should say. And it's right now, it'll be overtime attempt. 3 out of 3. This race has went from 120 laps to now 130. So if you wanted to extend the race, well, you got it. So now we're going to see what these guys are capable of here, as we should get, it should be 131, 132 laps, actually, as we still are rolling under caution here. But we should see the pace lights go off, what, this lap, next lap? And, man, like I said, Chris, this is it. This is where all of the chips go on the table, all the marbles come out. You've got to do everything you can to try to win this race here. And I think some of these guys are willing to, obviously, wreck their mom for this checkered flag. So we'll see what's going to happen here. I love how I said we got to see what's going to happen here, Chris. And as soon as I finished saying that, Andrew May instantly keyed up and said, I don't know what's going to happen here. I was like, that's very random.
Well,
timing.
Andrew, I will second you. I don't know what's about to happen here.
Or I think he was saying, I don't know what's happening here is what he actually said. He
Well,
was
you
talking
know
about
what?
how the pace car was freaking him out. Or freaking
Either way, we still don't know what's going on here. So
out. Heck yeah, man. I mean, it sums it up pretty much. We don't know what is going to go down. We don't know what's going to happen. This could be one of those. We could have the craziest finish ever. We could have every car on its roof, which would also be the craziest finish ever. That would be sick. But could you imagine if everybody wrecked coming to the checkered and it just, what would happen? Like if no one,
flips.
like everybody flipped and landed on their roof, would it just do the farthest person that slid on their roof one? Like, because you know how it is on iRacing, Chris. You're on your roof for too long, it puts you back in pit road.
Mm-hmm.
So is it the guy who luckily gets reset last? I mean, like, how does it work? Now I have questions that need to be answered. You know, any iRacing, game testers, whatever it may be, the guys that try to break the game, the physics testers, all those kind of guys. You know, kind of like how we found that you used to be able to ride the walls or do certain stuff. We need to see.
Oh, the
That.
inside
I wanna
lane
know.
is getting stacked up. See a lot
All
of
I see is a blimp camera.
bumping on that inside lane.
Are you on the blimp
I
right
am
now?
on the blimp. We pay for this. I might as well use it.
You can see the blimp? You can
Yep.
see the cars right now? All I see is signs. You might not have your graphics turned up all the way.
I can see them.
You can see the cars through the signs? I can see the cars now, but just a minute ago, all I saw was the back of those signs. We might have had two different blimp cameras.
Might have had two different blimp cameras. That was not what I was looking at.
Yeah, I didn't see a single car, and you're like, look at the way the inside lane's getting stacked. I'm like, buddy, I'm not seeing anything. I'm seeing the back of signs, that's it. Man, we're going to get back on track here, Chris, because as much as we're having fun and joking up here, these guys in the racetrack, they definitely are not. They are having a stressful time, I can tell you that. Not only through the radios, but just by seeing the way that they're moving the race cars around. I can tell there's just a lot of tension between these guys right now. They definitely want to get this race over with. And, well, you're going to get your wish because this is going to be the final, last restart. No more after this. Oh, Matthew Fitz is checking up. He's out of fuel. No. What just happened? What just happened to Robbie Bies? It just threw the caution. It just threw the caution. It just threw the caution. That's the race. Did it just... It just ended the race. Dude, did it actually just end the race like that? Jeremy Zarfers came over the radio though and said, "Hey, last thing I expected to happen today." Hey, we're not going to discredit it, man. This is, it might not have been the ending we wanted, but the pace car's out on the track. Why? I'm so confused at what's going on right now.
Yeah,
man.
I am so confused at what's happening.
I was just talking about bugs and glitch breaking and figuring stuff out. Did we just find one? What just happened? Is the race over? Josh Susie just came over the radio and said exactly why this track should be nuked. Yeah, it's going to end under caution here, Chris. This is going to be it. The pace car's got to catch him. It's going to be Jeremy Zarfos. I don't know why I'm even acting like I didn't know that. I just wasn't thinking the pace car would come back out on the track, but...
Yeah, so we're going to finish under caution.
Hold on.
As we're waiting on Josh to come back, give us word with what is going on, which I'm pretty sure that is the race. Still waiting to get word, but like I was saying, I'm pretty sure that is it. With it saying the final lap, it's going to pull it around, and Jeremy Zarfos will be your winner here at Atlanta. Well, we said something crazy was going to happen, and it surely did. But one last time through turn 4 at this slow speed of around 55, 60 miles an hour, Jeremy Zarfos is going to come out of turn 3 and 4 as your winner, with Ken Baum Jr. in that second position and William Hobart in that third spot. So a turn 2 terribles 1, 2, 3 here tonight.
All right, sorry about that, Chris. There are so many drivers over the radio right now. I was just catching up with all the
All right.
pre-Thunderdome drama. But yep, your winner will be Jeremy Zarfos, man. And what I was saying before we got to that, Chris.
As Josh probably just got picked up.
Yeah, sorry, I'm
Voice
listening.
chat.
Sorry. All right, but not get back onto track here. I'm not listening to voice chat anymore, guys. Do apologize about that, as we are going to see that turn 2 terribles. Jeremy Zarfos machine burn it down here in a beautiful, beautiful burnout coming from him. But I gotta say, no discredit to him, just because this race ended in unfortunate circumstances. One of those things that he can't control. It's out of his control. But hey, he did lead a majority of that last half of the late race, Chris. There with him and Ken Baum Jr. It's one of those things you would like to see it in under green flag conditions, obviously. Any race fan would like to see that. But if you're Jeremy Zarfos, you're loving this right now. You just got your first win here, or I said first win in the playoffs. He isn't in the playoffs, so excuse me about that. But he's gotten another win here on the season, and hey, really can't complain when at a track like Atlanta. I got to agree with Susie. Maybe they should just nuke the package here at Atlanta, man. This place is a weird place to race at now. But as your race results are up, we will go ahead and get through them. Again, Jeremy Zarfos, congratulations to that 29 Ford. Doing an excellent job here tonight, able to get himself up from that 15th position and bring himself home a race victory. Then we'll have Ken Baum Jr. in second, William Hobart in that third place position. David Smill Jr. will be in fourth. Then we'll see Chad Engel fifth with Joshua Gaiman in sixth, Bertie Green in seventh with Chris Lynn in eighth, Jaden Bingham in ninth with Jimmy Barr 10th, Joshua Susie 11th, Bill Hells 12th, Colin McCarthy 13th, Roy Bice 14th, William Brown 15th, Andrew May going to finish 16th here tonight. We're also going to see that 17th position go to Matthew Fitz. 18th to Shane Wilden. Michael Zuver going to finish in 19th with Nick Cannon 20th. 21st going to Lucas Nilges. 22nd going to Stan Mayberry. 23rd Patrick Ginter. 24th Don DeGroot. 25th Ryan Broderick. 26th Kevin Click. And that final race position of 27th going to go to Kevin Gibney Jr. We'll go over here to the Discord. And it does seem like we are waiting on Jeremy Zarfos, and I want to say it was William Hobart. And we will get to your post-race interviews. I just accidentally closed out my live timing, so now I can't see the race results anymore, so unfortunate for that. But we will continue on here. As, yeah, just waiting for those two drivers, your race winner and that third place position, to get into the interview queue. And we will get your interviews going here, Chris. But, man, I got to say, Chris, that was a very odd ending to the race.
Yeah, it's something you don't like to see, ending under caution, that's not something that you want to see all the time, But we did have a majority clean race, not a lot of drivers beating and banging, but hey, that comes with the territory, we're battling for, these race wins. We saw a couple of playoff drivers battling with a non-couple of playoff drivers, and that's what you like to see. It's a lot of fun, a lot of beating and banging. You just hate to see them go around off the front end of anybody's cars. But it's just this was a fun race. I'm just sad that it ended. It's just sad that it ended the way it did.
Yeah, indeed, that it is sad it ended the way it ended, Chris. It's one of those things that you wish you could have just seen it end a little bit differently. We know we could have had a crazy finish here tonight, but just those things kind of happen here. As it does look like we have our race winner, Jeremy Zarfos, and second place ready. See if William Hobart's going to join here in a moment. But we'll go ahead and get to your first and second place interview before we get ready for that third place. And we'll have Jeremy Zarfos up here in the booth here in just one moment. Jeremy, Zarfos, Chris, and Josh up here in the booth. Do you got a copy, sir?
I do.
Man, Jeremy, I gotta say, for this race to end in such an awkward way like that, with the caution popping right as you guys took the checkered there on the final restart, it's one of those things that maybe people look at it and think, oh, well, was Zarfos actually the winner there or whatever? But, we were trying to say up here in the booth that you and Ken Baum Jr. there in that last run did an absolutely excellent job. Great pit strategy. Y'all held up to, I think it was going back up to 6 seconds, the gap was right before that final caution pop that, started that, chain of green flag caution or green white checkers there, I should say, excuse me, or why I said that. But, you guys demanded or commanded the race. Y'all held great control of the race all the way up into that point. So I got to say, from our side, we're not discrediting you at all. A great win, Jeremy. And you guys were set up there at the end, all the way to the end. And everybody knows with these racing deals, even if it's an awkward finish like that, whoever took that checkered flag first is the winner. And Jeremy, you did an excellent job all the way up to the point of those green-white checkers. Take us through tonight, man. And again, congratulations on that race victory here at Atlanta.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I just told the guys in race chat it was the last thing I expected when I woke up today would be sitting here right now with a win. So, but listen, I was sandbagging all season. I was just saving this for now. I just kept them all under a false sense of security. No, but that was kind of an interesting race for sure. I really, everybody was loose. There was only a few people I talked to throughout and didn't see that weren't loose on the corner exit. The first accident, I got 40 seconds of damage. The second accident, I got another 30 seconds of damage from guys just spinning out on their own, whatever. So it ended up, I lost the draft on the one big wreck that a yellow didn't come out, and Ken and I got separated. And we just got kind of nose to tail and found some lines that worked for us. And we were faster than the leaders, faster than the lead group. And we kind of ran them down. Decided when we pitted with our whole team, most of them. Well, two of them got a speeding penalty. So Ken and I come out nose to tail again by ourselves, and we just picked up the pace where we left off, and it cycled around and worked out really great with that gap. The problem is we were running out of tires, both of us, and we were losing momentum. Well, the Sparkle Unicorn team kind of came by with a group of 3 or 4 damage, but just enough cars we tagged behind them and kept that gap, and we were feeling great. But as you know, as soon as you're starting to feel great, here comes the yellow. And then we were like, oh no. Now we're all bunched up again, and I didn't race hard at all in a bunch, so I had no idea what I had. Took 2 tires on that last stop with fuel, and I think, I don't know, 4th, 5th, 6th, I forget where I came out. And we went in that restart, and for whatever reason, Robbie was in the top lane in front of me. I got to run on him, and I got to run on the whole field, just went right by him, and the yellow came out. So I got right back to the lead, luckily the yellow, and then we just started that mess of green, white checkers. So, man, what a wild one for sure.
Gonna say it's definitely one of the most awkward finishes I've seen to a race here in the broadcasting side of it. It caught me off guard, and as soon as I saw it, I was thinking, man, is the race over? There's no way we can go one more. It's all done. But hey, like you said, at the end of the night, man, it's one of those things that you might not have expected it. But Jeremy, there is no discredit from us. I mean, you definitely had the car, like you said, hooked up with Ken. You guys were running great. We saw that there at the tail end where you guys were able to catch onto that pack, and it was almost seemed like it was that saving grace until we got to the green-white checkers, and like you said, all mayhem broke loose. But Jeremy, again, man, congratulations at a win here at Atlanta. We know it's called Hot Atlanta for a reason. Well, tonight it was just a hot mess, so we'll have to see how it goes next week. But hey, again, congratulations, Jeremy. And if you've got any final words, thoughts, shout-outs, anything, man, you're more than welcome to throw them out there. We'll let you get on your way and celebrate this win that, like you said, you weren't even yourself expecting.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Thank you guys so much for being here and picking up, picking this league up and having a broadcast. This is the one I'll actually go back and watch because I had a good finish for once. So I've watched bits and pieces of others, but usually I end the night frustrated because something stupid I did. So I will go back and watch this one for sure. So thank you to you and Robbie and Full Throttle Motorsports for sure for running the league, and all the guys at T2T, man. Like, what a group we have. We've had a good season, pretty top heavy with Ken and Kevin and the rest of us, Jimmy and Chris, we're gaining ground, and we definitely need to put more time and invest into this because we know we're good enough. We just got to put the time in. But T2T, Jeremy Zarfos Photography, my little photography thing I got going on there, and all these guys. Ken was a trooper tonight. He hung in there. His car was not handling well, and he battled through it. So shout out to those guys. Chris and Jimmy got back on the lead lap. Hobart finished that thing, I think, running out of fuel. So it was an up and down deal, but appreciate all the guys on the team. We really do work as a team. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, man. Well, we Appreciate you, Jeremy. It's been an awesome time up here having you in the booth, man. It seems like we have all you guys around here. We talk about you so much. We don't even get to talk to some of y'all sometimes. And hey, getting you up here, man, not only to be in the booth, but to be up here for the race win, I got to say, it's very special to have you up here, man. And it's been a pleasure to watch you guys race tonight. And hey, we're hopefully excited to see what you got coming into next week. And Jeremy, again, man, congratulations and thank you for the kind words, man.
Thank you so much. Have a great night, guys.
You as well, buddy. Chris, I was going to tell him too, I understand what it's like to, be on the stream, but not want to go back and watch it. Trust me. I've been there, done that a couple times. We'll go ahead and get to Ken Baum Jr. and have a word with your second place finisher. Ken Baum Jr., Chris, and Josh up here in the booth. Do you got a copy, sir?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, Ken, it's been a minute since we've had you up here for a chat, since we've also been gone here for the last week. But, man, got to say, you did an excellent job here. First round of 16, and you finish here second tonight behind your teammate. Going into that last green-white trigger, though, I got to ask, were you trying to set yourself up for a race win here, or were you going to try to, work with Zarfos as much as you can, or were you going to try to take that race win? And obviously, with the caution possibly spoiling it, what was your plan there going forward in those last green-white checkers?
No, I was just riding. I was just gonna let my teammate take it. I have a better chance next week to win, so this was his chance to get through.
Well, heck yeah, man. Just wanted to ask that before we got to the rest of the interview. But so see, there you go, Chris. A little bit of the sportsmanship coming out like we were talking about. But Ken, you had a great running race car all night tonight, man. And it seemed like you guys were hooked up there in that late run. We were talking to it. Excuse me, right there with Jeremy earlier, and he was saying that. You seem like once y'all found the line and y'all pitted, y'all were just moving, and you guys were faster than the leaders. It seemed like there for a moment that they were going to catch you, but once you guys caught back up, y'all were really moving. So, take us through here tonight, what you felt like from your car. Did you think that you guys could have really done anything any better?
No, not really. We just stayed coordinated, and I just rode, and then everybody else wanted to race side by side, which we caught up to them by 7 seconds, but right before pit stop. So. And then for some, we were the only two that really didn't have problems when we all pitted and ended up being 7 seconds in front of the field. So we just had to just stay consistent and not really make mistakes. And we knew that more than likely they wouldn't be able to catch us if we, got behind the lap cars there at the end. And we just started pulling back away. So it was nice. Just had to keep the car clean.
I was definitely going to say, from your guys' perspective, it's probably one of those races in Atlanta you're thinking, man, this is kind of weird, just two of us hanging out up here, just kind of driving this thing like it's an old 1980s race or something, just leading the pack. But you guys did an excellent job here tonight, Ken. I got to say, it was one of those things. We were talking to Zarfos, really enjoyed watching you guys run. And, it might look like with that weird ending that, you guys just got given something. But like we were saying to the crowd just a few minutes ago and the fans and everything, you guys did an excellent job and not only put yourself in the place for the race win, you guys held a great great race pace up there together. But hey, Ken, if you've got any final words, man, thoughts, shout outs, anything before we let you get out of here, you're more than welcome to throw them out there, buddy, and we'll let you get on your way and get ready for Watkins Glen next week.
Yeah, just like to thank Turn 2 Terribles, Jury Zarfos Photography, my girlfriend, my little baby girl. I have to wish her a happy birthday. She'll be 2 on Saturday, so that's amazing.
Yeah. All right. Well, Ken, if you don't got anything else, man, we'll let you go ahead and get out of here, buddy. And hey, again, enjoy the rest of your week. Get ready for Watkins Glen and enjoy your daughter's birthday this Saturday, buddy.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, man. Have a good night. All right, we'll go ahead and get up here to William Hobart, our third and final interview here of the night. William Hobart, Chris, and Josh up here in the Full Throttle booth. You got a copy, sir?
What's up, bud?
Hey, man, how are you doing here tonight? Hey, William, I got to say, it was an excellent job from you out there tonight. It seemed like you guys were just having all sorts of chaos out there in those early race, and then there towards the end, it seemed like you had a little bit of beating banging, and you were going all over the place there for a minute with everybody. It seemed like everybody in that, I would say from that fifth position on back, was just going at it there for a moment. But you guys got it back under control. You brought it back, and Turn 2's Terrible with a 1-2-3 here tonight, William, and having you up here in the booth tonight, man. I got to say, congratulations on that run here tonight, and way to keep her clean.
Yeah,
way to keep her going, I should say. Excuse me.
yeah, it got a little hectic. Not taking right side tires anyway. I was all but out of fuel. I needed someone else to make a mistake, and it was good night. That's all.
Yeah, man, it did seem like a good night from you, Turn 2 Terrible guys. just all the amidst all the chaos, you guys were able to bring it home 1-2-3, you know, and right there at the end with the crazy ending, we were saying, you know, we don't want to take it away from any of you guys because, you know, like we were telling the fans earlier, you know, not only did your two teammates there have an excellent lead, but you yourself, you know, it might look like, hey, I finished third place under that weird caution, but you finished third place and you're running up there in that fifth place position all night. So a really strong running car from all you Turn 2 Terribles guys tonight.
Yeah, I'll take it. I had a little mishap trying to get on pit road. I felt like I was going to be speeding, so I made an extra lap at not at pace. So it set me behind. I think Chris and Jimmy both had speeding penalties, which is who I was running with, and then Ken and Jeremy just checked out, and for some reason we didn't want to stay single file, and we wanted to race each other, and we never had a chance to catch them, and then the caution came out, and then just went straight chaos. So, but it was a good night. I want to thank the Turn 2 Terribles, Jay-Z with his photography, Ken, Chris, you know, everybody. I don't race very often. It's hard to, but when I do, I either wreck or I have a good finish, so I'll take it.
Yeah, that's what we were saying up there in the booth when you guys were beating and banging earlier. I was in the background going, "Oh no, what are you doing?" Because I was like, "Man, you know, you guys always seem to have some adversity come your way, and every time I start seeing y'all run good, I get all scared. Not just you in particular, but you know what I mean. Just
Oh
some
no,
of
it's me in particular. I'll say it. It's me in particular.
Oh no, I don't mean it like that, Bart, but you know what I mean. But he just
No.
always wants you guys to have good runs, and I was getting all scared up there, going, "Oh no, don't do it, don't do it." So
Yeah, we were beating and banging. Fitz wanted to keep, you know, going down on that red line, and to me, I felt like he was going below it. You know, he says he's not. You know, it is what it is. We didn't wreck each other. I just kept, you know, we kept doing each other. We didn't wreck each other. We kept it going, but I know he wasn't happy about that. But you know, it is what it is.
heck yeah, well, William, I know you've said some of your final words here. If you do have any more shout outs, if not, it's cool, man. You're good to go. But other than that, thank you for having us, William. And hey, man, enjoy the rest of your week. And we're excited to see you come back out at Watkins Glen.
All right, bud. Thank you. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Yep.
Again, no problem. Thank you, man. All right, and again, that was William Hobart, your third and final interview. Chris, I got to say, man, that was a crazy race right there at the end. And I honestly did not expect it to end like that. I got to say, I'm still kind of, I feel almost confused. Is that the word you use right now?
That would be.
Or like I've almost been robbed in a sense. You know what I mean? Like I feel like we were just robbed of an excellent ending there over just, oh man, everybody seemed like they were just ready to go. You know, it was one of those, you know, when you got somebody pushing you in the back all day and all you want to do is just turn around and slap them in the back of the head. Leave me alone for 20 seconds, you know, kind of thing. I felt like that's the kind of tension we were getting between the drivers right there towards the end. So we were starting to see a lot of fumbles, a lot of mishaps. Trust me, our Full Throttle guys are usually never this chaotic. It's just one of those nights, Chris, that when one caution happens, you get 100 of them.
Well, and I'm also gonna say I don't like this. I don't like this repave. I don't like it in the sim. I don't like it in the sim. You know, like I said, I've only raced on it a couple of times, and there's a reason why I've only raced on it a couple of times. It's just because I don't like how it races. I feel like the old bumpier version just raced better. But you know, maybe that's just me. You know, it is what it is, and hey. You know, Jeremy Zarfos, Ken Baum, and William Hobart walked away with a 1-2-3, so you can't really complain about it like you heard him. Can't complain. But, you know, hey, we're walking into Watkins Glen next week. That's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait for that. I'm not a big road course guy myself, but Watkins Glen, I love to watch it, hate to race it.
Oh, I love watching it, love racing it, love spectating it. I love it all. I'm so excited for some Watkins Glen next week, but Chris, one more time before we got to get out of here, just got to say a big congratulations to Jeremy Zarfos. I mean, it's been one of those guys that he's headed himself. He's just been unlucky this season, hasn't had that much luck go his way, and for him to get that win here tonight, I got to say, I'm pretty sure that feels amazing to him. And I know what it's like when you have been on that dry streak. You're just trying to get one win, one top 5, one top 3, whatever it may be, and then last second, you know, there you are. You got the win. You got it off your back, and I'm pretty sure it's a big feeling for Jeremy Zarfos. And one more thing, you can't take it away from him. If you're joining late and you saw that he won and it was that crazy caution, I mean, the guy literally was holding the lead of the race for so long, commanding the race. These guys had a great car tonight. The Turn 2 Terribles just looked absolutely awesome in Atlanta. But we are going into Watkins Glen, like we said just a minute ago, next week, and we're excited to see the drivers go left, right, through chicanes, and probably into a lot of walls and grass. So we'll have to see how that goes next week. But for right now, I'm going to say one more time, thank you for bringing all of your beautiful faces, to the Full Throttle stream. We're excited to see you guys here week in and week out, and excited to watch these racers. But hey, next week we'll be excited again to watch Watkins Glen Wednesday at 9 p.m. It'll be the round of 12. We will have a couple of drivers eliminated. We'll figure that out as it goes next week. But or no, it's still round of 16. I'm confused. I'm thinking it goes round of 16, round of 12, round of 8. Like I was already thinking about playing the college football game, Chris. So the playoffs are already in my head. That's
Yeah,
what I'm thinking about.
we've got Watkins Glen and then Bristol. That'll be the last two of the 16, and then Kansas kicks off the round of 12.
There we go. So Kansas will be at the round of 12. So you got two more chances here to possibly get your way in. But other than that, it's really going to be all that. But this is going to be Chris and Josh signing off here in the booth one more time from Atlanta, saying thank you one more time to all of our fans. And, hey, hopefully we'll see you next week at Watkins Glen. But enjoy the rest of your night, guys. And hey, we'll see you next week.